up until our mid-30s, late 30s, we did all ministry nonprofit.
Wow.
And that sort of thing. That's all how we made money. So we were poor.
Very.
We were
money
poor.
financially.
Good way to put it.
Yeah,
but not
like-
another way. Yeah, we
And-
had 8 kids at home at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was running a nonprofit. Funny thing is how this worked out. And we were literally in the meeting with the guy and firing him. And Dad was like, you need to tell Adam all of the stuff, like all the passwords and everything, because he's running it now. And I went,
Welcome to your new life.
and that's the
was a
kind of stuff
wild
is like, you
week.
just got to be ready to go. And stuff.
That was another hard left.
Welcome to Courageous Stewards, the podcast where legacy meets leadership.
We believe stewardship isn't just about managing resources. It's about multiplying impact, honoring purpose, and building with eternity in mind. Each week, we dive into business-focused discussions on real estate investing on a foundation of faith and family.
We have a desire to inspire listeners with a heart to reclaim their time, talents, and treasures for something greater. Whether you're growing your portfolio, leading a business, or a family, we need to become the best version of ourselves.
This is your space to gain wisdom, walk in courage, and steward what matters most.
Let's build what lasts. Let's lead with love.
Let's become
courageous stewards.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Courageous Stewards podcast. I'm really excited about this one today because I got family in the house.
Family in the house.
Family in the house. This one's going to be cool. It's a lot of conversation that we have not had prior with regard to adoption, some business ventures, family experience, a lot of things that we just haven't had somebody on that could kind of dive into some of these topics. And so I'm excited about this. Also, these guys have been married for as long as anybody, I think, that we've had on the podcast. And so I think Aaron and Kelly Hobson have been married for a long time as well. But so I would love to hear, your story, take us back to the beginning and just kind of talk through how things were then, how they've transpired, what y'all have done in your life and experience. So I want to throw it to you guys and just hear your story, your backstory.
Oh, man.
We don't have enough time.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes, okay. Well, we met in junior high, and then we started dating in junior high, if you can call that dating. We met each other at church, and which is a good place to meet. And she broke up with me for a little while through high school because, she had to go and see what else was out there, I guess.
You're rotten.
But then she came back. We weren't broke up for long. It was like a year.
A year and a half, yeah.
Year and a half. Then we came back together, prom night, senior year. I asked her to marry me. And
got 2 speeding tickets.
2 speeding tickets.
That was a different
girl that I took to prom.
No kidding.
Her homecoming. That was homecoming.
They were the same.
No, that was homecoming.
Careful, Jake.
Yeah, that was when we were broke up. Thanks, Jake. Bring that up again. That
Sorry.
was
Yeah,
really good.
I'm the one that needed to find other people.
No,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
We really haven't dated hardly anyone else ever. What we know is each other. And so we got married a year, 8 months after high school.
Yep.
At 18?
She was 18. I was
18.
19.
Yeah. I was 20 and Tina was 18.
Yeah.
So similar stories.
Similar
You guys
story.
dated further.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been married 26 years now. And
January.
we have 2 biological kids, 6 adopted kids.
4 grandkids.
4 grandkids.
So far.
Many
far.
more to come,
Yes.
I'm sure.
They're believing.
I'm sure some of them were like, no, you don't need any kids.
Give it time.
Give it time.
Grow up a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're a lot. No.
So yeah, it's been quite an adventure. We've helped create nonprofit organizations. We've helped create businesses. We've been through the gamut of family and what we've done, and we've always done it together.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done anything separate from each other.
Yeah.
Well, you were a supervisor at
Yeah,
a factory.
I mean, we had
you
to
worked
work.
factory work, and I did
Yeah.
insurance.
When we were young, we
and
would
other
just
stuff.
work because you have to survive.
Okay, so there's a story there
There
that's
is.
actually kind of an interesting one.
Yeah.
And our stories kind of tie in together
Yeah.
along that line because
Yeah, I
you were
hired
my
you.
supervisor.
Yeah, I hired you when you were in high school.
At that factory,
Yeah.
and my whole senior year, I don't know if I've ever told this on the podcast before, but my senior year, I worked
Yeah.
third shift.
yeah.
You worked at Alex Products?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
rode
did.
with
Am I allowed to
Adam.
say that?
He rode with me
I
every.
do not remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to the factory at
work.
As a
night.
senior in high school?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I worked half a day and I did the school to work
Yeah, yeah.
program, but I didn't work through that time period that you're supposed to
Yeah.
because Alex Products wouldn't
Yeah, we
allow
were
me
third.
to work.
He was third shift.
Yeah, so I was third
Oh,
shift.
my goodness.
So I worked third shift, went
I did
home,
not
took a
remember
shower, went to a half a day of school,
Came
Yeah.
home and slept.
went home, slept, went back for ball practice,
Yeah.
went over to Tina's to see her. We were
Yeah.
dating, and then back
Back
take
to
a little
work.
nap, and then back to work again.
Good
I did that
grief.
my whole senior
Wow.
year. It was exhausting.
Wow. Yeah, I do not remember that.
I did not
Yeah.
love it.
That was.
I did not love it. I bet not.
Yeah, I was a supervisor
good memories.
then
Yeah.
at a factory, Alex Products, which doesn't even exist
Yeah, it doesn't.
anymore. I don't
No.
think, but
No, they got sold.
yeah, I mean, we've been through all sorts of stuff like that.
A lot of hard pivots, too. Like
yeah.
in that story specifically,
Yeah.
you were fired for.
I was fired. Yeah. Well, I not sure exactly the whole thing of it, but several of the employees didn't like me because I take hard stances and stuff. You know,
Sure.
I'm a no nonsense individual.
Still.
And I made this hard stance with several of the employees, and they came together and kind of
Spread a lie.
got a coup against me. And later on, they said that, you know, it came out that it was all lies, you know, which was nice that
It
it all
was.
Yeah.
came out that
At
it
least
was
it clears your
lies, you
name.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I mean, I told
It's
Alyssa,
something
I
that
said,
could
that's-
could have taken a marriage down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It could have taken
yeah,
a marriage
I mean,
out.
they said that I was touching girls and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's not me. I don't do that, you know?
Right.
They brought him in and out the door.
Yeah, and
I
I
wasn't
literally
working.
told him, I said, I don't care what you say, that I didn't do that. So,
I wasn't working at the time, so I was a stay-at-home mom with both the kids, two of the kids that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so adoption
was-
came later, right?
yeah.
At this
Oh,
point,
yeah,
you
that
just had
was-
the two biological.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
We
was
didn't
the
know
summer. It was like, I mean, your world just crashes. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing now? What do we do next? We have no income. What does
Yeah.
this look like?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Which they gave me a big severance package that kept us for a while, you know, that said, hey, we're firing you, but here's a bunch of money.
Yeah,
so that
behave
was kind of
or
weird.
be nice.
Yeah,
or,
people
like,
don't. Yeah,
leave.
people don't realize that. Like,
Yeah.
think that they're going to get fired. Their world's
Yeah,
over. It's like
yeah.
not if you're at a company and they've got
Yeah.
a severance package. They
And
just
they
don't,
want you to-
That's on the hush hush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just don't want you to just go creating problems. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why is that? Which,
Red flag.
yeah,
Yep.
you know, it kind of,
But
we learned a lot.
Were thankful.
I
we
learned a
learned
lot through that,
We
you know.
learned
I
a
imagine.
lot.
And it
I imagine
it was
in
tough.
life, business, and in marriage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's that whole pocket of events there must have been difficult on all fronts.
Yeah.
And you guys stayed true and made it
Oh,
through
yeah.
that because
Yep.
financially, marriage wise, I mean,
Yeah.
I know
Marriage
there's.
wise wasn't the hard part for
No.
sure. It was more of the financial part was
Okay.
the biggest piece. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
just-
especially with little kids.
Yeah,
had
they were little.
You know, both of them were real
Dom
young.
wasn't even
Dom
a
was
year
a
old.
baby.
I don't even think. Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, he just turned 22 when that happened.
Yeah. I just
It
kept
was a
praying
long
that the
time
truth
ago.
would come out.
And
no
it
matter
did.
Yeah.
when. And it
Yeah.
did. It was like over a year later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
That
did.
the females went back and said, yeah, that was a lie.
That's so good. And
I
you
was
had
like,
that
praise
absolute
God. Like,
security
that's-
and trust
I
in your
did-
marriage.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And that's really, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
testament right there because a lot of people, when they get that kind of news and they have that many mouths going,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
they
was like,
start to get insecure, even though in their heart they know who they
Mm-hmm.
married, they know who they're with.
Yeah.
It can still cause a lot of division. So that's awesome for
Yeah.
you guys.
Well, my character, and one of the things my dad said is, you know, the character will come out. You know, when you live a life that says, "Hey, I promise to be the better person."
Yep.
Yeah.
Your character will win that over.
The life of
Amen.
integrity matters.
Yeah,
it
it
really
does.
does. And
know.
you can
even
So
more now than it used to.
people
Yeah.
Smokes.
people know it's like, okay, well, if word like that comes out, come on, that's not real. You know, because that's not something that I've ever had an issue with or done. You know, so. That was nice that the character won over.
Yeah. And that's staying true to who you are.
Right.
When people are looking, when people aren't looking. That's why I tell the
Yeah.
boys, like having faith and being a man of God is hard if you're trying to play both sides.
Yeah.
If you're over here trying to be this way in front of your work buddies,
Yeah.
but then at church on Sunday, you're like, you're this guy.
Yeah.
That's so stressful
Yeah.
internally. to mess
Yeah.
with your character and your joy and your peace. It's like stay rooted in who you are at all times, and there's peace in that.
Not to deviate from that conversation, but if we take it back a little bit, I think it'd be interesting for the listeners to also know Adam grew up as a pastor's kid, right? I grew up as a pastor's kid. Adam's dad and my dad are twins. So, there's a lot of interesting dynamic there in ministry and growing up through that. And a lot of times, there are challenges and there are blessings, and you don't always realize until you get further into your life experience and you look back and say, I could have had a life that was far more difficult than this. You look at a lot of other people who grew up in much more challenging situations. And, there's always like a family dynamic. You may not agree on everything, or there may be challenges that, you have to work through or whatever. But I always look back at my childhood and growing up very fondly. The people that I still know. We live in a small-ish community, and most people know kind of our roots and where we came from. We spent several years in a band together that was a really fun and exciting experience that I think about. So the band was called P150. We played on buckets and trash cans and traveled around a lot. We went down to Atlanta for a time and up into Michigan and kind of the tri-state area a lot, spent years. And I think the total band members in that group at one point was like 14 or 16. It was a lot.
No, it wasn't 16.
I was thinking
I think it was
11,
11 or 12.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Something
but
like that. It was
but
a lot, yeah.
it was a lot.
And we were all young.
So
you
fun.
guys were married
We were
at
the
that
oldest.
time.
Yeah,
We were the oldest. and
I was
think
pregnant with Noah
Oh, yeah.
when
I
we went
remember
to
that.
Atlanta.
19, 20 years old, and we were the
'Cause I
oldest in
remember,
the group.
I remember
Yeah.
thinking, I am pregnant and I'm standing in the satanic district.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah.
Well,
We got cuffed while we were down. Do you remember that? We were playing in the projects in Atlanta, and there were 4 of us that went walking through the back of the projects when we were on a break in between playing.
Yeah.
Cops come flying around the corners. They all jump out, and they cuffed us together, and we're like, what the heck did we do? Later, we find out you don't find white folks in the projects unless they're there buying drugs or selling drugs. And obviously we weren't doing either. But the crazy part was we were looking on the ground for bullet shells. Casings, and I had them in my pockets. And so when they searched us, they pulled these all out, and they're like, what do you got these for? I'm like, I'm totally innocent.
Because I'm from Ohio and it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't even think you were 18 yet.
No, I think I was
we
like
took
16.
Eli was 12.
So
Yes.
young.
When he
was
went.
so young.
And we were, which I think Buff or Tony went.
Tony went.
Tony went. It was one of them that went with us.
Yeah.
His parents.
Before cell phones.
Cell phones didn't exist.
Thank goodness they saw our innocence, and they're like, okay, these kids could not possibly be doing something wrong, and they let us go. I thought we were
They
in
have
trouble.
no clue
for
why
sure.
we're here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been through the music industry. We've done that, and I played with a band for a while called Consumed, and we traveled a little bit. And but yeah, that was some good memories, man. We played, and it was like Stomp, where you played on just percussion, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
I
did a lot of
recently
ministry.
went and got some dowel rods, cut them up, got some buckets, and my 2 oldest have sat out here in our shop and warehouse and just played around and banged on stuff.
That's awesome.
Good memories, man. I can still remember the beats and stuff that we played, So I was teaching them some of that.
That's
so
awesome.
That's fun stuff.
It was fun.
So fast forward, then you make a decision to begin the process of adoption. Talk to us about how that started and what that's led to.
Well, I would have to take it back to when we got pregnant with Noah. She was in the emergency room 8 or 9 times. It was a really hard pregnancy. And I was working, lost my job because we all went out on strike at that time.
Well, this is within our first year of marriage.
This was in our first year of marriage.
I got pregnant 2 months after we got married.
Yep. Well, yeah, whatever.
We got married in January, and he was born in December. So our very first year of marriage
I lost my
was
job because of
rough.
the factory went on strike, and so I was on strike duty. Plus, I was working another 2 jobs to try and make ends meet because she couldn't work. She was in and out of the emergency room. She just couldn't keep anything down. Super dehydrated. So I would come home and sleep a little bit and then clean up puke. I mean, it was just bad. It was hard. And then we had Noah. Second pregnancy with Dom was 3 years later. because we just were like very careful. And
I wasn't sure we were going to do it again.
Yeah, because the first pregnancy was so hard, but the second one went better because we kind of knew what we were doing a little bit with her, with medicine, and that sort of thing. So it went better, but then we decided that was it. We're not having any more kids. Physically, we can't. But then I started being a children's pastor and a pastor, and we've always felt called to do more than just helping kids and helping people. I think the true believers bring people in closer and help closer. It's not easy to help people from a distance, but it's easier. To really go into the muck, you have to say, we're going to bring them into our world and we're going to change their world through that.
Which is how we went in, but I feel like that world changed ours more.
I was going to ask.
It changes both.
Yeah.
It does. It changes both.
Can imagine.
I definitely, we have
learned more,
different people.
Tons of stuff and are different. And we have different views on adoption now than we did. But then we decided that we wanted to adopt. My sister and her husband, they couldn't have kids. And so they adopted through a couple countries. International adoptions. And we
looked into that.
Looked into it, but we just said, you know what, we're going to go through the foster care system. We became foster parents, and through that, we adopted the first three, which we had them come in. Yeah, they came in as a sibling group of three.
Right, okay.
3 boys.
Our first placement, the agency said, here are 2 sibling sets you guys can pray about, but we are willing to allow either set to come live with you guys.
Yeah.
Both were what they would call adoptable. They already had permanent custody. So we spent a weekend going, oh my, like, Lord, you have to lead this because this is the rest of their lives. It's the rest of our lives. Like, we're not looking at this as like maybe 6 months if it doesn't work out. We are 100% in. Like, this is for the rest of their lives. It's the rest of our lives.
You're not really toe tipping people, are you? Like,
no, not at all.
This is an incredibly selfless thing to do.
We are all in. Like,
but you went 3 out.
We have the weekend. Yeah. We have to tell them on Monday.
And we originally started adoption because we wanted to adopt a girl. We had 2 boys, and we were like, oh, let's
a little girl
we would like to have a little girl. And then we ended up.
We said yes to 3 boys.
We said yes to 3 boys.
Wow, did it go differently than you originally thought?
Yes.
We went from a family of 4 to a family of 7 in a weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I don't know how else to say it.
One of the big things that I remember now thinking back, I'm like, laundry is different. Grocery shopping is different. Like, literally every single thing that you do is different. On a daily basis is different.
Yeah. The amount that you take them to school, getting up in the mornings.
How long things
everyone's
take. Like,
on a different schedule.
Is different.
So that was wild. We kind of got our feet under us with the 3, and it was, we had got them adopted. It takes 6-8 months. They have to be in your home before they can be adopted. Okay. So they were in our home for approximately 8-9 months, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we adopted them. We had that all squared away, and we were just moving forward.
We're like, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. And we talked to them, and we're like, and then we got a call, and they were like, hey, we have this little boy. And I'm like, another boy.
Well, we had done some other foster care stuff in between.
We did.
We housed a trafficking survivor and some other
stayed
things
with us. We ended up having, we did the count, a total of 23 different kids who have come and just stayed with us.
Yeah.
Through foster care, through adoption. And anyway, so we had this little boy, and they said, well,
stop, back up.
Back up.
No.
We're backing up.
We're backing up.
Back
because
up.
He said, we can't keep saying yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, then they can't keep calling me because I'm going to say yes.
That's
like,
true.
I can't.
That was true.
I cannot say no. So they have to call you.
Yeah.
So we called the agency and said that you have
Don't
to call him.
Alyssa
Do not
anymore.
call me.
Well,
and they're like, oh, man. Like,
and this story goes back because Alyssa, I was at work, and she calls me. She's like, I'm on my way to Toledo to pick up a trafficking survivor who's going to stay with us. I'm like, trafficking survivor? No, we can't keep. Because there's some tough things.
There's another, that's a whole other
realm. It is, yeah.
That's a whole other
And we have 5 boys, and this is a female trafficking survivor.
So you're like, you guys adopt 3. collectively together. You're like, yes, I'm all in. And then all of a sudden he's at work and you got 2 more. And then you got
Yeah,
another
she's
one.
coming to stay with us for a little bit. It's probably
like, what's going
fine.
on?
So I'm like, Alyssa, you can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
Every time I leave, I come home. We got another
That's
one.
the way I would be. I would be like, who is this kid and why are they in our house?
Yeah. That's crazy. I did
and
have
that's
to take
when-
her back to the projects too. So you're telling your
You
project
did.
story, and I am remembering taking her back
Yeah.
by myself
Wow.
back to her grandma's house. Yeah.
This
And
is places in Toledo that I wouldn't go without being strapped. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's heavy.
it was
I'm like,
crazy.
Let's go. Sitting
So-
on her grandma's couch.
I said, I'm gonna
So I
I'm
said,
gonna
Adam
screen
has to-
calls.
Yeah.
Well, they called me and they're like, there's this little boy. He'll be there for just a little short time.
You guys can work with his mom.
Yeah, his mom is really
She's in
she's
rehab,
struggling.
and you'll have
But
him for the summer.
You'll have him for a
probably.
couple months.
It'll be good.
And literally,
He says yes.
I said, yeah. I'm like, he was 11 months old.
It'll be fun.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
So he came to us, and he is still with us.
He's 15.
We adopted him 3 years after. 3 years after that,
15.
He and my
Jesse.
oldest son
Imagine.
are in the same grade
And
And
together.
their
at
lockers are
school.
right next to each other.
Yeah,
Well, they're
literally.
Tracy's,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Jesse, it was a long process.
It was.
And his mom
Really-
passed away because she overdosed on heroin. Oh, no.
Really,
And her
really
dad,
hard
his
story.
dad is doing better now, and he's actually contacted us to talk to Jesse, which is a whole nother story. Jesse's not really interested in it right now. You know,
Right.
he's
Sure.
got
He's young.
He's got to figure out what he
He's
wants.
young,
and
but he's
stuff.
also old enough to, we feel like, to make that, to be part of that decision.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like even when our 2 biological boys, we were looking at adoption and foster care, like they are part of that, like this changes their lives. They're part of the
Changes
family.
everyone's life.
They're part of the
It does.
decision-making process. We
Yeah.
don't keep things from our kids.
Yep. The level of forgiveness it takes for that kid to go, I'll talk to my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Is tremendous,
It's
and it
been-
has to be their choice. It really does.
It has. It's been a little difficult because we do have another son that would give anything to talk to his biological dad.
Yeah. But we don't know who
Anything.
that is.
We don't even know who that is.
Don't know who that is,
So-
and then
And
it's
he struggles with that.
Yeah.
So then he struggles with his brother because he has the chance and doesn't want to take it. But everybody,
Yeah.
us, including the kids, every single one of our kids deals with all of their things differently.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all different.
So long story short, we had Jesse come in, and it's been a long process, and we were like, we're gonna adopt Jesse eventually. Maybe we didn't think that. We were just
There for a while,
fostering.
we thought for sure he was
And
gonna
then-
be with us. We're done.
Then we were done. We were like, okay, we've got 6
now we have
kids.
6, yeah.
But God.
But
God.
yeah. So then we got called by the boys' biological mom,
No.
that one was the one
We were sitting at the table with Darlene before I was going to go to Thailand. This is out of order.
Oh yeah.
We were sitting at the table with Darlene because I was leaving for Thailand to go to work in the red light district with her in Bangkok.
Missions trip.
Yeah,
trip.
Okay.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2
wow.
weeks.
For
Okay.
2 weeks, and
So I was gonna be home
Leaving
with 6
you with-
kids by
Oh my
myself,
Gosh, yeah.
and my
which I
phone
was
rang.
fine with. I mean, it's,
You can handle it.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah. So my phone rang, and I'm like, there is nothing like seeing the county's phone number pop up on your phone
right.
I can
when you're a
imagine.
foster parent. It's just like,
Here we go again.
yeah,
Yeah.
is this a we need a placement phone call? Is this something crazy's happened?
Yeah.
Is this
Who knows what's
visits
gonna
are
be?
changing or starting or who knows what? So it's that instant stomach drop. We had no reason to have any other child on our radar at that moment whatsoever.
No, we were done.
Phone rings, and the county is the biological mom of our 3 boys just gave birth to a baby girl.
And nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
They didn't know.
They didn't know. Nobody knew. So like,
But
she
they have to
has
report
been
it.
born.
You know what I mean? Like she's had the baby. They had to report that they had
Yeah.
the baby.
At this point, we still had our license, right?
Yeah, we did have our license
We still
still.
had our license.
So they're like, "Do you
you
want this
want this
baby?"
baby?
And
And I'm
Alyssa
like,
was like getting ready to leave for
"Yeah."
2 weeks, brand newborn.
Again, because I
They
can't say.
called you.
They called
They
me.
called
You're
her.
like, yeah, goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. See
yeah,
ya.
I gotta
And,
go, guys.
literally,
And then
Darlene
there's a
is sitting at my
girl,
table.
and we've always wanted
There's
a
a
girl.
baby coming soon.
We've always wanted a girl.
And Adam's like, "But you're leaving in 2 weeks." And
I'm
I'm
like-
like, "It'll be fine."
Yep.
So she left.
No,
and
I did not.
You did leave.
We went to the hospital together.
We
We
did.
have pictures. You goof.
But I'm saying you left for Thailand.
Oh, I did leave for Thailand.
She
yeah.
was gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
And so I have 6 boys and 1 girl, baby girl, and she's in Thailand doing ministry, which was a tough 2 weeks. And then she came home and it was normal, but that was a wild month.
Yeah.
And then you added another girl a little
Well,
bit
Well, we
two
later.
said we
years
were done.
later, we were
Yep.
done.
Yeah.
We even expunged our license. We're
We had
like,
no
our
license at
license
this
is
point.
We
gone.
can't even do it if we wanted to.
Yeah,
We're
we
done.
can't.
Because he became a trainer.
I
you
started
were
training
training.
foster parents.
Cool.
And,
Wow.
you know,
You can't have both. You can't have your foster care license and train. So we had to sign off, and it was very
you can, but you have to be with different
agencies. We weren't.
I see.
Yeah.
Different
So we had to
stuff.
sign off on it, and it was just like,
Yeah. So we signed off and we were done. And that's when we got called by biological mom. Again,
sister.
sister.
Older
But we've
sister.
talked to the mom on the phone
I
about
did
it.
get to talk to her after.
And
it's the only time I've talked to her.
the sister was like, hey, mom's having another baby.
had.
No, having, because we knew about it.
Oh, yeah.
We knew about it. Having
You're right.
another baby, would you guys be willing to adopt another one? And so we were like, well, yeah, but we got to figure things out. So we had to go through and get our license back. So we had to go through
Holy
all the
moly.
classes again, get our license back, and then we ended up adopting her as well. So
Yeah, that
that's how we
story's a
ended up
little
with
bit
our
different,
8.
but-
Yeah.
I mean, that's the long, like, there's a
That's the-
huge long story
Of
that
course.
I'm
Sure there is.
you know,
Of course.
kind
And a lot of it's
condensing
probably
it
kind of
down.
hazy
We almost
as you go through.
we almost didn't get her, and she's our
Yeah.
youngest, Elise. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were told there are plenty of families in the county that want a baby,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're like, but we have her biological siblings.
4 others that
Yep.
are.
There
Which
was
the thing is a lot of them come with different diagnoses. I mean, we have
yeah,
a list of diagnoses that are like
lots of letters.
they're very, very tough. You know, the youngest one has something called neurofibromatosis, where she has tumors throughout her body. Alyssa takes her to Cleveland every 6 months and does like
PET
a
scans.
PET scans to make sure they're not cancerous, and they're very big. They're throughout her whole body and attached to the nervous system. One of them has what's that called? Genetic hepatitis, to where her body just
Autoimmune,
tries
yeah,
to kill her
autoimmune
liver.
hepatitis.
You know, so we have to constantly watch her liver. We have, you know,
Lots of ADHD.
lot
I've got a
of
bipolar kiddo.
bipolar. I mean, it's like you think that you're just adopting children. These are kids that have things.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Trauma-
what I would say.
trauma does
You
a
know,
lot,
when
yeah.
you look at adoption and stuff, it's like it sounds great. Oh, you're just
You're-
signing a paper, but these
Well,
kids
and a lot
have
of people
stuff.
are like, "You're saving their life."
I don't
I mean,
hope so.
yeah.
You know, you're kind of a lot of the things that you think of is you're saving your life, but you're adding a person that you are helping, and there's sometimes changing. You change your life, it changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you look at it as
not
kind
bad.
of a bridge to give them a better life, hopefully encourage them towards positivity? Ultimately, they have to make their own decisions.
Yeah,
Completely.
yeah.
But I'm sure that your perspective has changed over the years, where originally maybe you did think, like, I'm giving them a better life and
Yeah.
I'm in control
Love can
of,
fix it.
Yeah, yeah. And you come to find out that, you know, the dynamics that they kind of, or maybe baggage, maybe that's not the right word, but the difficulties kind of come along with, and they rear their ugly heads at different times
It's-
throughout the process.
And it's not giving them a better life; it's giving them better opportunities.
Yeah.
it's about saying, "Hey, now you have the opportunity to do
Yeah.
something, whereas you didn't before."
Sure.
They still have to choose that.
Yeah,
Opportunity.
and that's probably the tough part is you're helping, you want to give them opportunity, but you still, I talk about this all the time, even with just the 2 kids I've got, is it's incredible how young they are,
Yeah.
where you learn I can't control you anymore.
Right.
I want my boys to do what I think is right, but they're young and they are already outside of that window.
They
Yeah.
already have their
They
own
can go choose
personality
it.
and
Yep.
their own choices.
So
and
I couldn't imagine. This has to be
Yeah.
one of the first episodes where my mouth's hanging open. And that's because of the selflessness and just the absolute stewardship of you guys, your time, what you've sacrificed. I couldn't imagine it. I'm listening to it and I'm like, nope.
Most people wouldn't.
Nope. And so it's incredible to hear this story. And I know my jaw's been open literally for part of this, I know. And it's just awesome to hear that story.
they
So
have,
if you had, it's hard to ask this question, but if you had it to do over again, I'm sure, I know you love your kids, all of them.
Well, we love most
They're-
of them.
Most
he
of them.
says that a lot. Or,
Yeah, it's a
and his
joke.
other
Yeah,
joke, his other joke is, I love my grandkids way more than any of my
That
kids.
is true.
Yes.
Which I kind of feel like it's not
That's
really a
true.
joke.
That's not a joke. I love my grandkids.
That's incredible. But maybe the better question is, what would your advice be to people who
Yeah.
are in your position now and looking to their future and the situation that you've gone through? How would you say, do this, don't do this, handle it this way, or don't, what do you think?
Oh, man.
We've been through a lot with our kids, biological and adopted, both. And it's very strange that we are so far removed from the adoption date that it's hard for me to even say my kids that have been adopted, like they're my kids. They're not going anywhere.
We
This
don't
is
really
for
do
life.
they are adopted.
Yeah, but in situations we'll explain, they're adopted. We have
Well,
kids
and
that are adopted.
They're
but
black or Mexican, so they don't really look like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious, you know.
But I'm sure you've had couples who have come to you and said, how was your experience? What would you recommend? That
you
kind
know
of
what
stuff.
I say? You don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's a really long story.
Careful asking
Don't
those
ask
questions.
questions you don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, and it's different in different. We're in a calm place right now.
Yeah.
I should not say that.
You shouldn't say that.
I would say knock on the table, but don't do
Yeah.
that either. 'cause it
And
might-
Tina's gonna get mad. We're in a somewhat calm place. I mean, we do have one that's in jail right now.
Yeah, one incarcerated,
Yeah, but we're in a calm. He's safe.
Mm-hmm.
He's safe right now. We're in a calm place. So if we're in an uproar place, I might say something different than where I'm in a calm place
Seasons
right now.
matter, don't they?
Seasons are different. Yeah. When the kids were little, it's chaos. You're running everywhere. I remember taking a picture of 8 different buttons. The buttons for sports. I had 5 buttons because a couple of them were buddy buttons, and we're literally running from one field to the next. And
You
now
just
I
need a
look
scout
back.
staff.
Yeah, I look back now and I'm
Hold
like,
them down it.
those were the best times.
were
Like
good.
they were absolute madness.
Oh, yeah.
Exhausting. So good.
I remember seeing you guys in passing.
Yeah, just
Adam's
like
over
we
here
are-
at this person.
Yeah.
And I'm here, but I got to go
And
over
then
here
I
to
gotta
this
run
guy's
here and
all
and
this
it's
stuff.
just
yeah.
absolute the best. We're packing sandwiches and laying peanut butter and jelly out on our whole entire counter for just an afternoon snack. And it's different.
That was just for me, by the way.
Yeah.
So, gosh, advice. I don't know. I definitely feel like you need a support system.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And somebody that understands is huge. So, through the years, I've tried to be, and I know Adam has too, be very open to anybody who has, especially that is walking through foster care and adoption, because there's nothing like calling someone and saying XYZ happened or I'm feeling like this, and without that person having to explain the entire situation, you just know.
Yeah.
You just understand because you've just felt that yourself.
Good.
Like you just know. And it's like, it can be really hard. But
I would say
100% worth it.
a couple of things would be advice-wise is, one, be flexible because you never know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to follow it. And, sometimes you're a firefighter. You're just putting out fires left and right. The other thing is with the support system is I'm going to kind of tack on to what Alyssa said. Most people don't understand. They just have no clue, because you're not dealing with a normal situation. This is just not a normal situation. It never will be.
Yep.
So, you've got to find people that can be on your level and understand. But I would also say, if you're married, and hopefully you are, you better cling together, because there were times where there's no one else to cling to. And I'm literally, Alyssa's on the phone crying. She's like, I quit. That's it. I'm done. I quit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, we can't quit.
Right.
And I'm like, yes.
You can't
I know.
quit.
I'm
But I
quitting
still
right now.
I'm quitting.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
But
few
I'm
hours.
done.
Yeah.
And he'll talk me off the ledge.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he's on the ledge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come back.
Yeah. And
Like,
so you have to work together on that and be willing to say to each other, you can't quit. We know, blah, blah, blah. And you're working together, and you're not going to be done with it.
We've said that to each other a lot through the years. Like,
Yeah.
or just, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
So he takes it. There
Yeah.
was a time where I went to so many visitations, dropping kids off, and I looked at him and I'm like, I just need a minute. Can you please take off of whatever it is that you have and you take this for this day?
Yeah.
So our whole married life, we've really balanced each other, I think. I don't know how you would word that. Like
Yeah.
if there's something I need a break from, he'll take it. If there's something that he needs a break from, I'll take it.
That's good.
The ultimate team member.
Yeah,
We
but and that
really
goes
are,
back
yeah.
to the flexibility of
Yeah.
of being willing to and wanting to help your spouse, because without us, there's no us.
Them.
Without us having a tight relationship and being willing to help each other and push each other and keep each other, informed and stuff, and we're there is no family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You
that's
know,
a good one right there.
There's no family. And so it destroys the kids more if we don't work on keeping each other afloat.
Yep.
So most marriages, what we've been through, would be destroyed because they don't have that foundation and that desire to go,
We don't
no
quit.
matter what, I'm
Right.
with you. I don't quit. We don't quit. Nothing's, we're not going to do this. We're not going to change, our direction. We are going together. We're blazing a trail. So, like I said, most marriages would go through this and go, yeah, no, we're actually going to be done.
We
There was
have
quite
some
a-
pretty incredible role models to look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
in our past. Both of your
Absolutely.
parents
Both of our
have been
parents are
together
still
for
together.
many, many, many years.
Which
Yeah.
is nice.
Fought through difficult times and
Yeah.
good times, and
Yep.
So
And there are lots of marriages around us too
Yeah.
that are
That's
that way
good.
too. So
Yeah,
that's-
we tend to glamorize things. I think even in business and life with children, it's like we fall in love with the idea.
Yeah.
We need to fall in
Yeah.
love with the reality of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yep.
so it's just making sure you're
Well,
like, this is how this is going to actually look, and we need to be ready.
One of my friends, he was going through a marriage thing, and he said he went to his dad, and his dad said, "You said for better or for worse," and he threw him out the door and said, "Welcome to worse." You know what I mean? Because that's the truth.
part of it.
There is bad. There's a lot of bad.
Yeah.
And you just have to say, I'm here through all of it. I'm not gonna quit. And too many times we are willing to quit.
We've had a lot of rough, not just with the kids, but in our marriage too. It's not been
I don't know what you're talking about.
perfect.
it's been fine.
100%.
It wasn't me.
goodness.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think it would be fair also to say to our audience and to those people that are listening that it's appropriate to have a certain level of grace
Oh yeah.
because you don't know the story. You don't know behind the scenes. You don't know all the things that are happening or have happened. And we, as humans, tend to judge based on this little amount of information that we have, not knowing the 95% that we don't even know. We have, project our opinion on the situation, not knowing what the true story behind this
Yeah.
whole thing is. So have a little bit of grace for people, right? I
Right.
mean, we all go through challenging situations.
Yeah.
We're trying to do what's best. We're taking it to the Lord. We're trying to follow the
Yeah.
right steps. Have some grace for
We
people.
we
you know?
could write a book on things that are like
I mean,
horrible
as
that
he
people have
said
said to us.
it's-
like,
Yeah, I know,
mean,
and that's a lot of the
little
reason why
things
I brought it
like
up.
Going out to eat was difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Going
You don't
going
go
to church
places with-
became very, very hard.
10
Yeah.
people going places and doing stuff.
I mean, when you were just saying that, I instantly thought of I'm sitting in Cleveland Clinic with two of our girls, and we don't know where Reggie is, and Facebook is blowing up because the
he
sheriff's
ran off.
department has posted this situation on their Facebook page,
Mm.
and we're looking at these big tests with Elise, and Reggie's missing. We're scared that we're going to end up. We literally had the feeling that we were going to have to identify him in a morgue.
Yeah, it was pretty,
And
pretty scary
people
stuff.
on Facebook are obnoxious.
They're
I don't know
horrible.
what the word is,
Ruthless.
but they
Yeah.
don't know the whole story
Sure.
of what. And I completely understand being terrified based on what was posted. People are calling the school system and worried about the school, and we were juggling a lot with that situation. But people judge.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
judge, and
yeah.
it's hard.
I don't
Yeah.
care about people.
We
People are
have
dumb.
definitely learned to just let it ride. Like we're more worried about Reggie or
Yeah,
whatever
of
kid
course. You have
or
to.
whatever situation because,
And
but
the
it
truth
was hard.
The truth is, 95%, maybe not that high. 75% of the people really care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
25% that don't, they
Yeah.
just want to throw up a whole bunch of crap.
Correct.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
100%.
And we focus on that 25%, but who cares about them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those are haters and those are people who are going to try and bring you down. And if you focus on them, you'll never get anything done.
Correct.
Right. Oh my
In
That's
life,
so good.
you'll never get anything done in life.
True.
They want to complain about everything that's not going the
Yeah.
way they think, that this
Right.
isn't happening or this isn't going how
No.
they feel, but they're not willing to
Right.
be a part of the solution.
Well, or be accountable for anything or help with anything or
So the adoption process that you guys have gone through is something that we could probably talk about for days and really never run out of conversation.
Yeah.
No.
But
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
not, it doesn't define you.
no.
completely. And so we want to talk about some of the other things as well that y'all are involved in and where you're at now and where you're going. So Sean has a question that he wants to ask and kind of talk through where you're at now.
So, like, as if you guys don't already have a full plate. I see you guys all around town. I know you've got a few businesses here. You said some nonprofit even you guys are involved in. I really want to talk about where you are and how you guys balance the continued growth of business, maybe some of those nonprofit organizations, and balancing this home life that is just incredible and selfless like it is.
Well, we don't do the nonprofit anymore. We let that go several years ago. We were, along with my dad, we created Children's Lantern, which is around town here. We did that for 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Something like that.
Where we built it and grew it, and then we let it go. Up until our mid-30s, late 30s, we did all ministry nonprofit.
Wow.
And that sort of thing. That's all how we made money. So we were poor.
Very.
We were
Money,
poor.
financially.
Good way to put it.
Yeah,
but not another way.
We never made any money through nonprofit, and that was very hard.
Yeah,
and
we had 8 kids at home at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was running a nonprofit. Funny thing is how this worked out, and Dad had a manager because Dad owned Downtown Cabin Fever, and he was thinking about building this other one. Their manager, who he was doing some very bad things, and Dad came to me and was like, "Hey, all right, we found out about it," and I had to fire the guy. So I walked in and we fired the guy.
Children's Lantern's
And
offices were upstairs.
I didn't even work
He didn't even work for us.
for him, but I'm pretty good at firing people.
Yeah, I could imagine
So
that.
I went in with Dad, and we fired him. And Dad was like, "Hey," and we were literally in the meeting with the guy and firing him. And Dad was like, "You need to tell Adam all of the stuff, like all the passwords and everything, because he's running it now." And I went,
Welcome
to your new life.
"What just happened?"
I was doing social media for Cabin at the
Yeah.
time before this all had happened. And yeah, I don't know. It was
And
it
that's
was,
the
it was a
kind of stuff
wild
is like
week.
you just got to be ready to go on some stuff.
That was another hard left.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're over here.
So then I started management. This was
Elise was
Gosh, this was 10
going
years
into
ago that this
kindergarten.
happened.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So then I started doing
Both.
running the nonprofit, like directing it and running this and we were building our Southside location at that time. Or
As in,
that
like,
hadn't
the
even broke
building.
ground.
Yeah.
Hadn't even broke ground. And so I took over and we were building a new building and putting in this new business. And
all the meanwhile, some of our family life and some of our kids had just bottomed out.
yeah, it was
Really like we had hit one of the hardest of the hard.
Yeah.
that we have hit.
It was crazy.
It was a
like
lot.
the stress was so heavy that I literally almost had a heart attack. I went to the hospital and I told Alyssa, I called Alyssa, I said, "I'm having a heart attack. I'm heading to the hospital." And she's like,
He
"You're
never
driving
goes
yourself?"
to the doctor ever.
Yeah.
Like I was driving myself to the hospital because I felt like someone,
Elise was in
So-
her kindergarten screening, and I was like, "I need my daughter. I have to leave."
Yeah. I got there and they're like, "You're having a heart attack?" And so they rushed me in. They throw
Could you
this
get mad?
medicine
Trigger
at
word.
me.
Do you got a room open? Or
Trigger word.
I'm dying here. They said it was all stress. Like stress
Wow.
just
Yeah, the heart
made my
cath
body
and all the
just
stuff and-
just go nuts.
Which wasn't
I
a total
said
shock.
that's when I said I had to
We gotta do
things have to
something.
change. So we started taking out the nonprofit part and pushing that to where someone else can do that. And then I took over the business and started running it and I was managing it. And then when my mom and dad wanted to retire or were going to retire fully, we purchased the Southside location. My sister purchased the downtown location. And in there, we decided to build another one and add another store. So we added Northwest State Community College. We put one in there. And then just last year, we purchased from my sister the downtown location. So
now
at
you
the
run all
beginning
three.
of this year.
at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
So now we own all three. Plus,
Including
there's
Marketplace.
a marketplace right next door, which is a retail store.
And you guys own that as well, or Jen and
Yes.
Jared?
Yeah.
still-
Yeah, we
Okay.
own it all.
Okay.
Luckily, we got Jen in the deal. So
Yeah,
she's
Jen is still
managing.
managing it and
Good.
helping
I
with
may
us.
have cried to get her to stay, but
and
it
and
worked.
Dom is really stepping up, and we've kind
He's
of
a
had to
manager at
change our
both
entire
locations.
structure of how we run the business
Yeah.
because we can't do it all. So that being said, where we currently balance, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know how to answer that.
Survival
I was gonna say
mode.
we don't.
well, and
Yeah.
that's where you go into this. You have to find a new normal every time. And when we were flexible, and I say be flexible, is your normal is not what you can do anymore. You have to find a new normal. And so when we have to turn really fast, and we learn this in our life.
A new normal. That's one of our things that we've used throughout our whole life.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is our new normal, because you can't go back.
Yep.
You can't go back and say, well, I like it how it used to be. Well, it doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter.
Whether you liked it how
We
it
went
used
from
to
2
be.
to 5.
That's good.
Our
know,
laundry was better before. Well, that's
It
too
doesn't
bad.
matter.
This is our new normal. Let's figure out a way
find
to
a new
make it work.
normal and get in the groove. And that's really what we've based our lives on, is finding a new normal, getting in the groove, and moving forward with that. Because when we do that, your stress level is not something that you can just do away with. You know, because I went to
Doctors
the
are like,
doctor,
"Lower
and the
your
doctor
stress."
was like, "Lower your stress." I'm like, "Which one do you want me to get rid of? The kid, this kid, that kid?"
Like,
You know, like there's
my whole
there is
world.
Yeah,
really
there's
no
no-
eliminating stress. It's
Yeah.
how you deal with it, where you're going to go from that.
That's a good point.
And so, yeah, there are times, like especially here recently, Alyssa's been stressed out with some of the additions and stuff, and so have I.
we haven't gotten into our groove yet. 'cause
We haven't
it's
gotten
just
into our groove.
happened in January.
And so we have these little business meetings where we go on a date, and that's the problem with being married to your business partner. Is, you know, sometimes dates are
Dates
business
are business meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do the same thing.
We've
Dates
gone
are
on a
grocery
date,
stores or
and,
They
Lowe's.
do the same thing. It is-
Jake and I sometimes,
Yeah,
we go on our business.
we try to
dates.
have time together, and
I
then we
just-
find ourselves talking business.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
lie, I just threw up in my mouth. Anyway. So yeah, we go to our business meeting, or you know, we just sit and we just discuss. Okay, how can we change your role or my role to make more time for what's important?
Time
good.
to
The
adjust.
family
how do
is-
we, how do we
The
adjust
family
this?
is more important than a business. You know, our business is important because it helps us sustain. But again, without this, there is no business. Without
Yeah.
the family, you know, what's the point?
exactly.
Yeah, we literally just talked about that because we homeschool our 2 youngest girls. So
Because we care about those two. The other ones,
we sat down and tried to figure out, you know, what do we change? What do we move? And I said, well, then they would have to go back to school. Well, that's not what that's not our
That's not our
That's not
priority.
our priority. Our
Right.
priority is for them to be home. So that's off the table. Like we just go back and forth between what's movable, what's not. Where's our
Yeah.
priority? Where are our goals? Where are we headed toward? What are we headed towards? So
yeah.
I often use the phrase with Sean that everything is figure outable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it
we
is.
joke about that, but
Yeah, it
we
really
wanted
is.
to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's trademarked, so we
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, man.
But we want to
That's weird that that's
everything is
It is.
figure outable.
It really is,
and
yeah.
we talk through that regularly. And
It
you guys
is.
are like the epitome of that
Yeah.
definition.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna have to figure it out.
you just
Yeah.
figure it out. Yeah.
The new
And you
norm
do.
thing is a really good motto, and I don't know why we tend to lose sight sometimes of the things that are actually important in the day to day. I know
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Jake and I have talked. I think what was it like last Saturday, wasn't it? You were talking. We were going to go up to Oregon, and you pivoted, and you're like, no. I'm going to spend time with my wife, and we're going to go.
Yeah.
we're going to go do something because
I haven't been
that's
on a
what
date
makes it
with
all
my
worth
wife
it.
for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
like,
like,
why do
it's
you date Sean?
Valentine's, and I spend more time with this guy than I do with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it was like a priority shift.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
refocus.
Yes.
You know, not
Absolutely.
everything has to be about business right now. You know, my relationship is more important with my wife.
Well,
So
the
Yeah, you
business is
pivoted.
always there. Businesses are always.
There's
I mean,
always something
there's
to do.
always more opportunity. There's always bigger things. You can always grow.
Especially
I mean,
when you're married to a dreamer.
Yeah,
And I'm the
I-
weight to his balloon. That's what I
yeah,
say.
then that's what has to happen because I go, oh, but we can do this.
I'm like,
you
let's bring
can.
it back
yes,
to
but
reality a
should
little
you?
bit.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean you should. You know, I had a guy approach me about he has a brand new thing that would go good in our coffee shop. I didn't need it, and he's like, well. I'm giving you a good price. I'm like, yes, but why should I buy something I don't need?
He was very close.
I
and I
was.
said, you're telling me your wife said no.
But
Because we
it
don't need
would
that right
work.
now. We
It would be
need to
great,
buy this
but
other thing instead.
But I don't
Yeah.
need it, you know?
Right.
And so it is sometimes saying, okay, where's too much? Where do I stop? Where do I pause? Is too much too much?
When
And,
is enough enough?
When is
Yeah.
enough enough?
we
And
had
it-
that conversation with Jason Demlin on the podcast, and
Yep.
and yeah, it really makes you think.
Yeah, because
It does.
I can continue to work. I just that's all I do is work, and I love
his
doing
comfort
it.
zone.
That's my comfort zone. I heckle people. I love doing my job, and I can just do it all the time. The problem is like you can't just do that all the time.
Yeah.
You shouldn't anyway.
Right.
So looking at the future with everything you guys are building, everything you've sacrificed, just your willingness to be stewards with your time and your resources, as you guys continue to discover where enough is enough, what is the legacy going to look like?
I honestly don't care if our business is our legacy.
Would that be cool? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool. What I want my kids to understand is our values. That's what I want. Noah lives down in Florida. He's one of our oldest. And we've talked to him before about coming home and running cabin, helping us with run cabin. He's just not interested in it right now. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay.
Yep.
They love where they are.
But understand and bring our values of, wanting to be part of something bigger and really being part of your family. And he's got 2 great kids that he's a huge part of. And they're his things that are important to him, not what he does for a living, although he's very, very good at it. He manages a really fancy
nice
place.
restaurant.
We went there and I'm like, my bill by itself was $125 and I was just me. And I was like,
It's a
that's
really
a
fancy
lot of
restaurant.
money. What did I buy? So we don't really have a problem with doing any of that or the kids being part of the business. We want
Some
them
of our kids
to,
are not able to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they probably won't ever
Yeah.
be able to do something like that.
And we'll try to have them in certain ways to be a part
Yeah.
as they can or they want to. Some of them don't want to, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever retire. I don't know if I can do that. I get bored at home.
That's when we might kill each other.
Yeah. Is when we're not doing
We,
stuff.
we might not. We don't know how to not do
Because there's
things
been times
together.
where I'm like, Alyssa's like, you need to go to
He does
work.
not know how to sit still.
And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
go to work. But the future wise, we want our values to be what our kids take, not necessarily our businesses, not necessarily our what we have, because what we have passes away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
You
good
know,
answer.
it's just stuff.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know.
more outside of just our kids, but for cabin to be what we want it to be is a space for people to come to connect, either
Yeah,
to us
yeah.
or to another person in the community. So I would like it to always be
That's a
known.
legacy I would like.
Yeah, that is not us, but that cabin is a place where, I mean, we have seen so many things from really terrible to really amazing things at cabin through the years. Like there's been weddings.
Several
there have
weddings.
been first dates that have led to marriages. There have
Yeah.
been families, numerous, sitting around a table planning the funeral of a loved one. There have been a daughter met her biological dad for the first time as an adult. Like I was there and watched him walk through the door to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
Incredible.
there are people that have lost loved ones, spouses that you were the first person that they were told that,
Yeah.
the spouse passed away and they're melting, in front of you. Or that last week I was able to hug a loved one who had lost their son. Like,
Yeah.
those are the things that I love that space for. So it's coffee, but it's more than coffee. It's,
Yeah.
Well, and our-
it's a place in the community.
One of
for-
our
for
business
people.
models is we're in the people business and we sell coffee.
Yeah.
We're in the the business of being part of a community, and then we also sell coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife and I one of our first dates was at the downtown location.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I have also, just through witnessing, I've noticed small groups are operating at
Yep.
cabins
Yep.
often.
Lots.
And so you've got to think about the impact that's making in the lives that are being changed by people sitting down and having an island fever there at the cabin,
Yeah.
Yep.
sitting down together and leaning into Christ and sharing. That's just, it's awesome.
From the outside looking in, I see your legacy as a warm space.
Yeah.
So not even necessarily the cabin, although that's part of it, but just in the way you guys project yourselves, you want to be that warm space, welcoming,
Yeah.
comforting, encouraging, like the people that are, steadfast and stable and we're in the community and you guys are always welcome.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
Well, I had a discussion with a young lady the other day because very, very seldom do we get to go to church. But she's like, why don't you come to church more often? I'm like, I want you to look around and what do we have here at cabin that is different
Yeah.
than necessarily going to church. We have a community. We have people who come in. We meet together. We enjoy each other's company. People get in the Word together there, and it's just like, I understand there are differences, but
there are.
the difference to me is people don't get to go to church, or they don't feel comfortable at the church.
They feel comfortable at the
They feel
cabin.
comfortable at the cabin.
It's a
It's an
neutral
opportunity
space.
for you to have a ministry within
Right.
a business.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if
We don't put that out there a lot.
public.
No,
It's
we don't put it
very-
out at all. It's
very
not the
present.
point to put it out there,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it is the point to say, hey, come and
safe, warm space.
Yeah.
be part
Yeah.
of something.
And it's different
bigger.
there for a reason. We know that.
Yeah.
But not everybody does.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So let's transition. Superpowers.
Oh, boy.
Normally, we ask the person what the superpower is, but I thought it would be an interesting transition for y'all to give the superpower
only
that
one I thought.
you perceive for your spouse.
Yeah.
And so I would love to hear what you guys think about each other as your superpower.
This is the only one I thought of ahead of time.
Okay.
And I actually said it to him, and he was like, "Don't say that."
Let's
Really?
hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's go.
Cameras on, mics on.
Right? I said, well, let's see. No, can I say it?
You can say whatever you want. I don't care.
One of his superpowers is having the hard conversation.
Yes, I noticed. I
The
mean, I know that
really
as
hard,
that's real though,
it
Yeah.
very
right?
much is.
Tough.
I have an aversion to the hard conversation.
A lot of people do.
Conflict avoidance is
I-
an
Yeah.
easy thing
I
to practice.
have been a people pleaser in recovery for a long time.
I like the way you said that, yeah.
And as the type of personality that I have, I align myself with people that can handle and do the things that I don't necessarily love to do. I love hanging out with Kara because she is a person that can do the things that freak me out. I partnered with her when we were in Africa when we went
Yeah.
on a mission trip because I was like, Kara can handle that. He can handle the things that which kind of goes back to that partnership where I'll handle things that he doesn't necessarily like or isn't very good
Yeah.
at, and he does the other thing for me. So like he handles those really tough conversations. Yeah.
It's good balance.
That is an
Yeah.
incredible superpower, though. That's very hard for a lot of people. I am that person. I'm the you.
Yeah.
And in our business,
Bad
Sean.
cop, good cop.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
But
And
it
we
works-
play that game.
Yes.
It meshes.
It does.
It does. It
And
Are
meshes.
you
you
have-
the woman of the relationship? Is that
Mostly.
what you're saying?
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Right, right.
Own
Yeah,
it.
that's okay.
Own it.
He's not
people
going to
like-
conflict me.
People
We're
like
gonna
you
have
better.
some conversation. Sure. Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Yeah. I want
just
people to
shrink
be loved on and, cared for, which I do. I have sat, it's very difficult because I try not to cry when he's having those hard conversations with people, but he's just, even to the point of like our kids, I've watched through the years him have one absolutely gut-wrenching conversation after another with our kids, and he handles them. Nobody's perfect, but I would venture to say, in my opinion, he handles them nearly flawlessly. Like
Wow.
it is amazing to watch what comes out in those moments.
Well, it's funny because I'll be having a hard conversation with an employee. I'll look over and Alyssa's crying. I'm like, what are you doing?
Don't make me sit
Stop
next to them
crying.
anymore.
You're not helping.
Whose team are you on?
Yeah, like,
She's like, I'm sorry. We don't mean this. I'm like, yes,
do.
we do.
and it usually is like a warranted conversation. Like there is not a reason why he's just going to be like, well,
Yeah. I
have a hard conversation with somebody for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, like his dad did ask him to come in to fire somebody for a reason. Like
Yeah.
he's just really
good at that.
He's really good at
we
that.
do things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that not always does he love being good at that, but he is.
Right.
No, I don't enjoy it. Well, sometimes I do.
Depends on the person or the scenario.
Sometimes it's like, okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah,
enough's
I'm
enough.
ready.
But yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
What do you perceive as Alyssa's superpower?
There's just so many of them that I could go to, but the one that she's our rock, even though she's sometimes like quits. But she holds all of us together as a family because I'm not a sentimental person. I think kind of sometimes we hold some things in sentiment, but like growing up, I've just never been that way. But Alyssa makes everything special. Like our Christmases, she does special things. Our holidays, she does special things. I mean, I would be the most boring person alive. And she makes our stuff special.
Yeah.
The kids, everything that they do, it's something big because of her, and so she keeps each one of them a box of their past and keeps things filed away. So stuff like their birth certificates that you think, oh, well, it's a birth certificate. Well, they have an original birth certificate that has their original names on them. That has she still has that stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
important to them.
when they go back and they go,
Maybe.
who am I? She can say, well, here's your box. Boom. She brings it out and they can ask questions about things. And it's special, and to see the kids go through their past boxes that I wouldn't even have kept at all. I would have been like, I'm keeping this.
I'm more that way.
Yeah. It creates a value in them and in our, and it's not just them, it's our business as well. She bought little heart straws
He was so
for
annoyed.
Valentine's Day. And I'm like, why did you spend money on heart straws? This is the dumbest. People have exploded because they're like, I got a
text
heart
after
straw.
text of
You know,
pictures
and
with
it
the
was
heart
just
straw, and they're like,
to-
"This
to
is so
people,
cute."
It was like, this is special.
Yeah.
But she holds it all together with that rock, with that foundation, with that. This is what we come back to as a belief system of being a warm place, like you said, and being a place for everybody. She brings it to our family. She brings it to our company
That's good.
And the community.
and the community.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yep.
Very good. So looking back, you guys have been through a lot. You've grown a lot, changed a lot. We're always wanting to know what people are reading, what they're watching, what are some things that you guys have picked up, maybe a book, a podcast that has really impacted your journey in a good way that we can share with the listeners.
I learned a lot of my leadership skills through The Office.
The show, The
show.
Office.
I don't know
Michael
why.
Scott.
Brilliant.
Why was I expecting a serious answer? Why was I like,
Yeah.
Michael Scott?
He's like,
so good.
he's ready to write down.
Michael Scott knows how to lead.
How I
Next.
Manage or whatever his book is called, right? Where it's like blank. He's got.
No. Oh my gosh. I am a reader. I read a lot. And Alyssa doesn't read as much as I do. Hers is more Harry Potter, weird.
We do that every Tuesday night, so we're right there
Love
with
it.
you.
You
with the
know,
boys. Yep.
she likes that stuff. As far as
Such a goof.
as far as leadership books, I read a lot. I've read all of Maxwell and
John Maxwell.
John Maxwell.
Yeah.
Sorry. A lot of books like that in leadership and management and things of that nature. Right now, I'm reading a lot of World War II, and
I love that.
I'm reading a big book about Teddy Roosevelt right now. And the thing that I like about some of those, because I just read a book about Patton, General George Patton, about his leadership style and how he wrote prayers to and was right next to his guys in the battle. Mm-hmm. He didn't sit back as a general. He was literally on the front lines with them. And so I love reading that kind of thing because the truth is the style of leadership for each industry is going to be different. How you want to lead, how you need to lead. And I love that front lines, battle because like I sit there and make coffee with my people. You know, I work the counter. Do I have to? No, but I do because I want to be in the battle. I want to be with the people. I want to be talking to the customers. I don't want to be the leader who just does all the stuff behind the scenes because that's not what we are. We're in the battle.
We know exactly what that feels like and what it looks like every single day.
Yeah.
And we want people to be treated the way we want to be treated when that happens. When you walk in feeling utterly low or to be the first person that somebody can tell, I got a raise at my job.
Yeah.
We've seen
We
both.
had one lady who came in and she's like, I have no one to tell, but I got a huge bonus for Christmas. And she's like, I have no family to tell
And we
or
all
anybody.
celebrated
And
with her.
we all
way.
celebrated. We did espresso shots.
Yeah.
We don't drink alcohol. So we did espresso shots. We're like, let's go. So it's a good time, to do that kind of thing. But we want to be in the battle. So I read a lot of stuff like that to where it's old school leaders and leadership.
So all you got to do is pick one book to give to our listeners.
Sheesh.
Easy question.
No, here's
I have two.
Oh, you do?
I have 2 books.
Well, let's
yeah.
hear it then.
So my reading has usually been parenting or marriage books, parenting books throughout our whole lives. I haven't found time to read a ton lately.
Yeah, I don't care about those 2 subjects, so I don't really read those.
This is where I tell them what to do. No, so Crushing by T.D. Jakes is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Crushing.
Crushing.
Like it's the crushing of like when you feel crushed, you're being refined.
Yep.
Okay.
So fantastic book. The other one, which is kind of where I'm at now, my other newest favorite one is Unreasonable Hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
I love that book.
You maybe had mentioned that, and
Yeah.
then we got that book, and
Yeah.
it's
Love
a
that
really
book.
good read.
Love that book. So things along those lines, and then I'm starting to read more about like learning how to marketing and design and things like that.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
just kind of
Very
where I'm at
cool.
right now. Bringing
Well-
out some of more creative things in myself.
What about somebody who is interested in adoption? Maybe something specifically that they can learn from. Do you remember anything specifically that
I have
you guys?
loads of those on my shelf.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Anything stand out like
Crushing
this
by
is-
T.D. Jakes.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah, just
that's
going
great. So that
back.
would
It
be a good
just
one.
is, yeah.
Okay.
Here's
That's
here's
one that
the
I've
problem
given.
about adoption and stuff like that is if you want to read reality, there's a boy called It,
There's a bunch of them that
Okay.
are like
I know that book.
personal stories, yeah.
and then
He
he
has,
has
like,
a couple
3 or
of
4 of them in
that
there.
he grew up in foster care.
Okay.
And those are intense.
Yeah.
But those teach you some things that you're going to want to know before you go into this, because it's not an easy road. It's possibly the hardest thing we've ever done. And we thought that the first part of adoption was going to be the hard thing. But when they come into teenage years and all of the crap hits the fan,
We have 2 biological kids. Okay. And I myself can remember going through junior high. And I didn't have a traumatic upbringing. And that was hard. That's like really hard. So you add on top of just that junior high and high school are hard and puberty and all of that stuff, but you add on top of a layer of trauma on that or a learning disability on top and all of these things. And junior high is extra hard.
dude, it's tough.
High school is extra hard.
So you're not prepared. You're never going to be prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you think,
And every
I
kid is
got
different.
this. You ain't got this. It's going to fall apart, but you just keep rolling with
Keep
it.
going.
Yeah. That's good though. It gives people kind of a
Yeah.
direction or a start. Let's.
Yeah,
So-
those are things to know though about what our kids are facing
Yeah.
before they come into care.
Yeah.
In foster care, that is. you
Yeah.
know.
So if people want to reach out to you guys or chat or connect,
Yeah.
We don't
where
allow that.
you don't allow that, so we should just cut this whole part.
Just
out.
cut this part.
Yeah. Okay. No, where would you prefer that they communicate with you at? Social media or
I
what do you think?
never check my Facebook messages.
Okay.
So that is not the place to go.
Okay.
But email is great. I
Yeah.
love email.
Do you feel comfortable giving your email out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're going to post it or do you want me to say
Yeah.
it?
No, you can go ahead and say it.
Okay. So it's alyssa.tracy.99@gmail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Email's
So
great.
folks can reach out
Yeah.
on there and send you an email or something. If
Don't
they have
ask
a
me
question.
questions.
You're too busy.
I
In the
just
weeds.
don't respond real well.
Yeah.
He's not very.
I do the business
Warm.
stuff, and I'm not a great person to ask questions like
No.
about that stuff because I'm just like, I want to help you, but I got stuff,
Yeah.
and I forget. Then,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and I feel horrible about it because someone's like, "I really wanted to connect with you." I'm like, "I know,
Yeah. But no.
I know."
No, if
Maybe
you
sometime.
want to connect
It
or talk
reminds
to
me of
him,
Han Solo.
you got to stop
Go-
into cabin.
That's what I was just going to say. Go
stop
find them
it.
at one of the cabins.
You find
Yes.
me
Right?
and
Yep.
stop me, and then we can discuss and talk. But
That is his best.
over email and stuff, I could give you my email, but it ain't gonna make any difference.
That was my expectation that you guys were just going to say, come see us at cabin.
Yeah.
We're there. We're
I'm
in and
there.
out.
I
all
am
the
in and
time.
out. Yeah. Yep.
You
and
know.
I don't mind that. at all.
Yeah.
I'm at one of the cabins.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm not downtown, I'm at Southside. If I'm not at Southside, I'm at Northwest State. Northwest State is the one I'm at.
Behind the counter.
Behind
Yeah.
the counter a lot. you
Okay.
know. So just come and see me. But yeah, if you want to email me, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You won't get a
You may not get a response.
No,
Fair
you
enough.
won't get a response.
Oh my goodness, that's not true.
I do respond. I do.
That's not true.
I do respond.
This has been incredible.
Yeah, seriously.
A lot of it is story that I've heard that maybe, our audience hasn't, but still just such cool nuggets. It gives a little bit of a deeper dive into your life, the experiences that you've had, and a lot of positives and a lot of negatives, a lot of easy things, a lot of hard things. You go through ebbs and flows and challenges and blessings and all the things, and that accumulation of all the things are what make life what it is.
Yeah.
So we're honored. We're grateful that you guys were able to stop out and chat with us for a while. It's been
having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
true
It's fun.
pleasure. I'll see you in 5 minutes at cabin.
Right on.
I think he needs a refill.
I do need to
anyway,
reload.
Too, yeah.
To all of our listeners out there, we're honored that y'all plug in and listen to us on a weekly basis. And we encourage you to go find us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We're on all of those. Subscribe, communicate with us. We want to chat with you guys, and we look forward to bringing you more content in the future as we move forward. Y'all have a good one. We love you. See ya.
Thanks for joining us today on Courageous Stewards, where legacy meets leadership and faith fuels the journey.
If this episode stirred something in you, share it with someone who's ready to step boldly into their calling. Subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected as we continue to explore what it means to lead with conviction, serve with excellence, and build with eternity in mind.
So until next time, keep showing up, keep stewarding well, and remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's obedience in motion.